I probably should have done my hair.
You think so? I think it's
Uh,
lovely. Look at this. I found it. Look, yeah, I
uh-huh.
bought two swords, right? And I had enough points. I could order this. Woo, chihuahua. Look at that. See, ain't that nice, huh? It's a buck knife,
You
right?
you suck at being
I suck at that.
Vanaway.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So I ordered that for free because I had all those points after I ordered a couple of swords. All right. So,
Hang on, Vanaway's doing her job.
ooh, I
Okay, I
love
don't
the
know.
hand thing.
I don't
Yeah,
know how to
uh-huh.
close that.
Yeah, me
Makes
neither.
me nervous.
Anyhow, so we don't have anything interesting to say, actually.
No,
I
I
would
don't.
like to start out. There's this little feller out there, just a nasty little fella called Rachel Maddow. Oh, man.
We're
Anyway,
supposed to be Christian and so nice.
I am. That's the most Christian and nicest thing I can say about that little feller. But anyway,
All
it
right
is
then.
like this woman is so full of it, right? You get Joe Biden on there, right? And every word that comes out of his mouth pretty much is not true. You got that LaPierre chick, whatever her name is, the one, the press, whatever
Oh,
secretary.
I don't know what her
Oh
name
my
is.
gosh, this chick hasn't said a word that's been true, in my opinion, in 3 years.
Yep.
All right. And yeah, then Trump wins New Hampshire and they go to start to watch him this time after saying what kind of a liar he is. Well, look,
So,
I'm not a Trump fan and I'm definitely not an Obama fan. All right.
yeah.
But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And the problem with this is there are such simple minded people out there that have been brainwashed. And they literally can't tell that both sides are lying to them. But,
Yeah, look, when they
mm,
do that, when they say, well, we'll go and we'll see and all that, they're telling you what to think ahead of time.
yeah, right.
They're
And
poisoning the well, so when you go in there, you kind of already have a preconceived notion of what is going to be said.
and it's like, look, without a free and clear dialogue,
Hmm.
okay, without getting back to some sort of a semblance of news, in my mind, these people are filthy.
Yeah.
And they have literally caused hundreds and hundreds of deaths. How did they do this, you might add? Well, they did this during COVID by only telling one side of the story. You literally censored doctors that were actually helping people, actually curing people. There was some sort of a death cult going on, in my opinion. So don't get excited, YouTube. But therein lies the problem. And look, I don't want people to agree with me. I really don't. But I do want you to do some research and be able, without using catchphrases, to defend your position. But you can't. That's where the anger comes from because they believe something that they know themselves is not true. And if you call them on it, all they have is anger.
It's like we
Yep.
uh, we supported this one pastor on some controversy, and
Oh, yeah,
if you
really?
want to hear about it, it's on our Christian
On our
channel, which
Christian
is over
channel,
here.
yes.
But the trolls come out, right, and
Oh,
everybody has
my
an opinion,
gosh.
everybody has something to say about it, etc., etc. And the thing is, they give you the same repackaged bullet points that every other person says. There's nothing new. They don't say anything new, and the problem is that everything that they argue for and about and against has an answer, has already been resolved, and they don't want to hear. They just want to throw out their opinions out there and get whatever
But
result.
I challenge everybody. We've read our Bible a few times, okay? But look, I challenge everyone. Just go back to the Bible and read strictly the Old Testament And in the New Testament, only read the things that are in red letters. All right. Now, I'm not telling you how to, but just try that. All right. If you're up on your Old Testament, you've really read your Old Testament, just go through and read only the words that Jesus said.
Here's a real interesting challenge. Did you realize? I don't know who said this, but most Christians, or a good chunk of the Christians,
Yeah.
cannot even name all the books of the Bible.
Nope. Oh, I can't. I used to be able to, but not now.
No, I mean, I could probably do most of it. I mean, even though we have read it everything a few times, I'm sure I'd forget one
If I
here and
lost my
there.
phone, I couldn't even call my wife for help.
That would be a
Yeah.
problem.
But anyhow, hey, last night, okay, about 7 o'clock,
Medical mystery.
medical mystery. Now, if you get grossed out by medical mysteries, okay,
If you get
uh,
grossed out by descriptions of guts and gore,
this
you
is
might
not
want to.
that guts and gore. Calm down.
No, no, I seen
It
this
was
thing.
nasty.
This girl would. Okay, wait. This girl did a video about
Oh.
her eczema,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
put a bunch of disclaimers before she showed pictures of her eczema and her face and her hands, which is not that gross to me, right? But she put a bunch of disclaimers. If you get grossed out, but then I forget who our audience is.
Oh, yes.
You guys are grown-ups
Right.
for the most part.
Well, we hope so.
Anyways,
Yes.
go
So
ahead.
about 6, maybe 7 o'clock, somewhere in there, wife got a nosebleed. Now, I'm thinking, I went out and spent $1 gazillion for a coffee cup. Well, okay. I spent $20,000 on a new central heating, and the thing's got a dehumidifier backed into it. That's where I thought the problem came from, okay?
Dryness
But-
in the sinus.
Right. So anyway, it's 6, 7 o'clock, my wife got a nosebleed.
Humdinger.
A humdinker. Now, and it wouldn't stop. And it wouldn't stop. And finally, we went to bed and she laid down. I assumed it was okay. I went to sleep, and then it's like about 1 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock, almost even. She wakes me up. She says, honey, she says, it won't stop bleeding. So I'm like, all right, well, let me get dressed and let's just go to the emergency room.
Right.
Right? So we go to the emergency room, and their computers were on the fritz. You got to understand, we live in a small town. Anyway, they finally got her checked in and stuff. We're waiting in the emergency room. So I went and got to the bathroom, got some more tissue paper. And I tell you, man, when we pulled that tissue out of her nose, it had a hunk of blood on it, like a trail worm.
Clot.
A big
Blood
blood clot that long, right? So we go into the room, and we're sitting there in the room, and you got doctors and nurses finally coming around. I tell you, they roll the sidewalks up in our town. But
oh yeah, no kidding.
by the way, he couldn't figure it out, right? And then I swear to God, he shoved this hard cardboard thing that he called a sponge. Had to be that big. I might be exaggerating a little bit, okay? But it had to be that big. Up her nose. Now, she said she felt it go up her nose and turn left.
I did.
Right? Towards the back of her head, and then it started hurting.
So as soon as he went up like the nostril, you could feel he stopped, right? And he says, I guess that's as far as I'm gonna get. And then he kind of maneuvered it some more, and then
shoved harder.
He kind of hit. It felt like he hit in here, right? But the second he did that, I got this searing pain back here.
Right.
Okay, so I'm thinking this is all part of the process, whatever, right? So he does the thing, he puts the thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, whoa, that really hurt, really, really hurt. And I'm like, just kind of a little dazed by the pain of how bad it was, right?
And he said he had no idea, and he goes, I'll be right back. Well, he never came back.
So I said, it's not the here or the there or any of that. I said, it hurts back here, right here. I said, is that what is supposed to happen? He said, no. And I said,
I've never heard that.
Is it supposed to hurt? He says, I never heard of that. This is the first time I heard it. And I'm like, well, what do you think is causing that? Right. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, the pain is going down. So he says, I'm going to go get you some pain medication and you'll be fine. I
And I'll
said,
be right
and I'm
back.
like,
Yep.
I was just like, it's not, it's going away. I don't need pain medication. What I need is for you to explain to me why, when you did this here, it hurt back here and it was this burning, searing pain. And it's still low key there, you know what I mean? Right
Yeah.
here, this lobe right there, right? Anyways, he says, I'll be right back.
He didn't
He
come
didn't come
back.
back. He sent the nurse in, but he
Yeah.
didn't know what caused it, never heard of it before.
Never.
And so now my one of my boys is trying to is studying for pharmacy tech or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he's studying anatomy. And so I asked him, I said, this and that happened. And he says, Mom, those things don't connect. So
Right.
how could you possibly have that? So, medical
So there's
mystery.
our medical mystery. In the
And
comments below, if you happen to be a doctor,
or what is it, ENT,
yeah,
or know
whatever. Yeah.
somebody,
But anyhow,
send them this video.
she had sponge up her nose all night long, right? Then she wakes up this morning and talks about, well, what do you think? Do I really need to leave that thing shoved up my sinuses for 2 weeks?
Today.
Or 2 days, right? And I'm like, well, here's it. And he didn't want you to come back there anyway. He wants you to go to your own doctor. But I sat there and I said, well, hold on a second. Let's just drink some coffee and think about this. Now, the one thing the doctor did say was he couldn't see no blood or anything. So I think that pulling that blood clot out in the emergency room for like, I don't know, was that a third, fourth one you got out?
Yeah,
So
probably.
I think that was the last one, right? So after we drank some coffee and I sort of woke up because we were at the hospital from like 1 o'clock to 4,
yeah, 3:30,
3:30,
when we got
4,
home.
something
Yeah.
like that. It was like 4 when we got home. So, around 7 o'clock this morning, I guess, I went over there and I pulled it out. At what?
She wants something.
Who do?
Your daughter. But she
Oh.
doesn't want to come over because
But anyhow,
she's shy.
yeah.
Don't throw it.
Anyways, when I
Nobody can
pulled
see
it out, it was clean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then we got this little miniature tea kettle that, you could
It's
clean
a
your sinuses out.
neti pot.
A
Pot,
net-
not pot.
A neti pot
a neti
teapot, right,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
some saltine solution. Wait, it's not saltine solution.
Saline.
Saline solution. Not
Oh,
saltine.
the medical experts.
Don't be shoving crackers in there. All right.
Medical experts here.
But then she washed it out and it was clean again.
Yeah.
All right.
Now there's no blood, and I feel on the back of my nose, I can feel a little bit of
Right.
stuffiness, but I feel fine. And other than that, low keep it right here, right there in the back of my neck. So that's why one of the reasons we did this video. We're hoping
somebody might have
an opinion.
And it was so funny because when we were there, the only person that I had confidence in, this nurse comes in there and says, "Oh, your blood pressure is blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
Your blood pressure is really high. Sometimes when the blood pressure goes high, he goes, that causes nosebleeds." And she said it with authority, and I truly believed it. So then when the doctor came in and I asked him that, he goes, "Oh, that's a wives' tale, pure myth. They've done studies. That's not true." And I'm like, great. Now, I had the nurse that told me something that really I believe because she seemed like she knew what you were doing. I got the doctor who don't seem to know what he's doing, but he's a doctor. So, yeah, that leads to the mystery, right?
But the thing is I'm like my mom. When I get anxious, my blood pressure goes up a little bit.
Right.
And then they kept taking my blood pressure, and eventually it went down on its own, and it was fine.
Right.
But it was pretty elevated when I got there, and it always happens like that. But I'll tell you one thing about the doctor, though. Okay,
Right.
One thing he did. I don't know if we have any doctors to follow, but one thing he did that was very reassuring. It was a very unpleasant and painful procedure,
It's
but
creepy to watch.
the one thing the doctor did was like slowly he told me every single step he was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, he
do,
did do that.
how uncomfortable it was gonna be. I'm doing this, I'm doing that,
Yeah.
it's gonna do this is that, that's all this is. It was great. He was I think it's probably the first time that I've had a doctor really explain something to me as they're
Mhm.
doing it. But
But
anyway,
see, look, for all you married men out there, okay, this will just tell you how women can rain on your parade. I had all my guns out, all right? I had everything packed up, targets, ear protection, the whole 9 yards. We was going to go shooting this morning. But you know what you can't do? You cannot go shooting when you're at the hospital with your wife.
that's right.
Next time, perhaps I'll just drop her off and pick her up. I'm kidding. I
Well,
would
let's see.
never do that.
Let's see how long you stay married after that, Mr. Brandon.
All right. So, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the border. All right. So, all you Karens out there
Karen.
in TV land, what are you doing?
Oh, you got a text message.
I don't read text messages.
I'm sorry, I opened it now.
I don't care. Anyway, how'd you get my password? Anyway, oh yeah, you set my password.
I
Anyway,
set the password.
look, their super secret border deal. Yes, I know, Karen. It's not a secret.
It's a good secret.
Oh, anyway, what they're talking about doing is the Democrats, instead of allowing 10,000 people a day across the border, all right, they want to allow something like 5,000. There's absolutely no way to regulate this. For those of you who do not, or this whole mega shit, you people created this mega shit. Mega, if you'll excuse me, is a Democratic excuse when you don't want to figure nothing out. Here's what happens. The cartel literally advertises in Africa, in China, in the Mexican cartel, okay? Now, you can pay them $10,000 to $15,000 is the number that RFK, Kennedy, came out with, right? He did the whole research, went to the border. He's filmed a thing on it, the whole 9 yards. And he's of the opinion that the border has to be shut down. Now, these pieces of, they're all men, most of them. There are some families coming across, but the women get raped and kidnapped and used as sex slaves. The children are kidnapped and they're who knows where they go? They hardly ever reappear. When you see children at the border, now this is all true. It's not rocket science. When you see these children coming across with grown men, when they do a DNA test, that's not the father. And now, where are all these children going? We don't know. But anyway, there's this place right north of Houston. It's like we're talking square miles, about 75,000 places they're making for these immigrants, right? And then you have the northern cities who want to use everything as politics. This is not politics. You did the sanctuary city thing because Trump sucky suck. Excuse my French, all right? You have to understand a lot of things he did. Now, if you look what's happening in the Netherlands, in Poland, in France, they are actually banning any immigration now from Muslim countries. Does that sound familiar? Does it? Because that's what Trump said we needed to do. Now we have this humanitarian disaster at the border, an inept president that he's thinking strictly replace the voters.
Yeah.
The minority vote has gotten too expensive for them. So they're going to replace you. And if you can't see this, you can see what's happening with housing right now. Women, children, yeah, they're all getting kicked out of their housing to make room for the new Democratic voters. Now, this is just strictly my opinion. You can believe it or not, but this is what's happening. And it's like if we can agree on anything as a country, we need to agree to stop spending money on foreign wars that do not concern us, and we need to get control of the border. I don't care how many people you let across the border, but you need to fix America first. We need to get our homeless, our citizens, right,
Mm-hmm.
off the streets first.
Yeah.
We need to get them insurance first.
Yeah.
Then, if you want to let as many people across the border as you want, I don't care.
I don't care either.
What's your thought on that?
I'm just saying, clean up your house. I think I've said this before. You got to clean up your house before
Right.
you can go on and thinking that you can clean someone else's house.
Right.
And it's just what it is, guys.
Right. Okay, we got like 10 minutes left. Now, look at here. You Christians out there, I'm a Christian. Ask yourself what Jesus would do. Right? If you have a grandkid and he or she is gay and they invite you to the wedding, okay? Now listen to this because y'all gonna get triggered. Be a decent human being and go. Support your family. It doesn't mean that you're supporting their lifestyle. I'm quite sure they already understand you don't support it, but you're supporting your child or your grandkid. Do the right thing. Hey, boy. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some really some of the worst comments I have ever seen on my channel, on our Christian channel, has been from Christians. Okay, there is no Christian charity. You know, I have been meditating on this issue the last few days, and
it's a toughie.
It is tough, but it's real simple. If you don't participate in their lives, you will have no real chance for them to accept in the gospel from you. Okay? Yeah. Because when you say I'm not going to go to their wedding or whatever, because that means that I am condoning. No, they know how you feel. They know how you feel. They know how you feel about their lifestyle. Okay, and all we do is give hate and judgment.
Yeah, if you hate them and you don't respect them and you don't go to their wedding, how are you going to convert this person if they're not talking to you?
And I mean, I've had people in my comments call them it's evil. No,
it's not evil.
They're sinners.
They're sinners, right?
Just like you and me, okay, and us. We're sinners, and we're all sinners. Their sin is different, and that does not. I mean, people go to the prisons to preach the gospel to the prisoners. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of nuance to it, but all I want to say on that case is you have to remember what God said. God says, I never wanted sacrifices, I want mercy. And we have no mercy for these people. I got a better one.
What did the big feller himself say? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Right?
Yep. The king says, have mercy. So have mercy, people.
Right.
It's sad. Anyways, if you want to go know the background on this, you can go to our Christian channel
Christian
and all
channel.
of that.
We did a video on there. We got a lot of hate mail on that one.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, please, if you know anything.
Yeah,
I'm curious. That would be really helpful. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Any Karens out there want to volunteer to hold targets at the range? Ow! What?
We're supposed to be nice.
I am being nice.
Okay.
I'm just saying they can hold my targets.
All right, you guys have a nice day.
That was a joke, by the way.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Only the kids hold the targets.
It's even worse.
All right. Let's stop before we get arrested.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Anything else? Anything? No. Hey, looky here. Taylor
Swift.
Oh, Swift.
You're gonna get hate.
I'm not gonna get hate.
The Swifties are rabid.
Yeah, they are. Look, I would suggest, because I saw this little video where you're talking about all this crazy stuff. First of all, everything you said about the Trump Meister is not true. All right? It's not true. That is just, and therein lies the problem with this world. You people have lost all reality and common sense. But look it up. If you want reasons to hate Donald Trump, go ahead, get a hold of me. I can give you some doozies, okay?
Yeah.
Like government shutdowns, illegal government shutdowns, forced vaccinations, illegal forced vaccinations, right? The whole mask mandate, which was illegal, okay? The bump stock, which was illegal. Now, these are all things that happened under his watch. Oh, yeah. Anyhow,
You're running out of time, buddy.
I mean, who are you going to vote for?
Yeah.
I don't know. Washington is broke. These people are nasty, all of them. There is no difference between the Republicans and the Democrats.
Yeah, and once you get that through your head,
right,
you'll start seeing the Matrix.
Yeah. Now I do like Ted Cruz. He's got a really nice beard.
I know he's
got a cool beard. Yeah,
and he developed a sense of humor.
Yeah,
which is crucial.
Crucial. Anyway, look, there's no difference. Republican, Democrat, there's no difference. You look at the nonsense these morons. I mean, oh my God, you got Nikki Haley going around out there claiming to be a Republican, and her major donors are Democrats. Yeah. Right? I mean, come on. Oh, what was her name? Miss Piggy. What was her name? No, what was her name? Cheney. Liz Cheney. I'm sorry. I saw a meme. It was funny. Anyway, Liz Cheney supports her. And what is that guy that farted on TV? What was his name? Kessenrick or something. Yeah, these are Democrats. They support her. Yeah. So come on.
They're all the same.
Right. Anyway, guys.
All right, babies.
God bless.
God bless. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. What?
You gotta turn it off.
Well, how did I turn it off?
Just my mouse over.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.